Okay, at this time, I'd like to call to order the Wednesday, July 16th, 2025 regular meeting of the Royal Oak Downtown Development Authority. Before we move on to public comment, a couple people I'd like to recognize and welcome. One being our interim Executive Director, Susan Barkman, is here today. And Mr. Gouge, I think I'll let you introduce our newest member.
Yeah, thank you. I want to introduce Adrian Walker, our newest member of the board. Adrian was a recommendation from me. He is a resident in our downtown, which fulfills a board obligation per Act 57. And I'll allow Adrian to speak to himself, but the mayor and commission unanimously supported the recommendation on Monday night's agenda. So Adrian, welcome.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. As the city manager mentioned, my name is Adrian Walker. My wife and I have been a resident of downtown Royal Oak for the past 2 years. I have previous DDA experience, having served back in my hometown in Flint, and really excited about the work that you all are charged with moving forward. So thank you again for allowing me this opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to public comment. Anybody wish to address the DDA today? Mr. Holbrook?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Frank Hobrecht, and I'm going to speak on behalf of our building at 408 South Washington. We have had a dirt alley for the last 25 years, and it looks like we're going to continue this year. We're going to run out of time. I can't say more than it's a public alley. I keep on being told that I have to pay. This reminds me of the inspector that came to one of my other buildings. Pay. You want my approval? You got to pay. Pay this contractor. Pay. Pay me. Pay him. Pay. You got to pay. Without pay, you can't get approval. We sent, I think, $58,000 2 weeks ago for summer taxes. We pay our taxes. Our neighbor pays our taxes. The money's there. But it doesn't seem to be a priority. It's a dirt alley. We're not asking for stamped concrete like the alleys on Main Street. I'm going to get the information. I'll bring it to you next month. I think they were like $250,000 each. It can't cost that much to pave the alley. It just can't. It's not much, maybe 120 feet in width, 25, 30 feet side to side. And I know there's some public improvements that need to be done for catch basins so it can drain properly, but it's a public alley. You know, we have a lot of older customers and they walk up this public alley and there are potholes, and there's no reason that they should be subject to, you know, this kind of weakness in pavement. We want to do a better job. We want to have customers continue. We've got businesses that are struggling, but they're staying alive. And that's all I ask is put it on the list, make it happen, and let's, you know, elevate our standards so that we can have a higher quality of life for our customers. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else to address the board today? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Move on to the agenda. Approval of the minutes for June 11th, 2025, special meeting minutes. Motion by Director Dunstan. Support. Supported by Director Gaucho. Any discussion? Any changes? Hearing none, call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next item is expense items for June of 2025. This is just for informational purposes, and if you have any questions for staff.
Through the chair, just a comment.
Yes.
I see 2 invoices for Worry Free, and I just wonder, can we contact our Worry Free and see if we can get some kind of annual activities report from them? They're a substantial vendor. Maybe a year end, and just kind of plan on that so they can review the contract, everything that they've done, and it'll just help me better understand.
Okay. Anything else? Hearing none, we'll move on to business. 2025-26 Downtown Dollars Plan. Daniel?
Sorry. At the July 1st meeting of the Marketing and Business Relations Committee, the committee discussed the upcoming fiscal year, which we're in now, related to downtown dollars. As has been practiced the last 3 years, they created a plan moving forward. This year focusing on Arts, Beats, and Eats giveaway, holiday buy one, get one, and moms, dads, and grads. Currently there is an existing balance in the account of about $35,000. And the annual budget that was approved by the board back in April included the figures that are included in the plan as well. The committee unanimously approved this for recommendation to the committee.
Okay. I do have a question, Daniel. Was the pancake breakfast, Downtown Dollars portion talked about at the committee?
That was not talked about at committee, since it wasn't on the radar to plan for next year, but it's something that can be included since the plan does not account for about, I want to say $3,000 more that are in the account than what's in the plan. As far as the pancake breakfast from May this last year, that was used out of the YIFT balance that's already in there. So that's already been subtracted from the total that's in there right now.
Okay. And I know in the past we've used leftover funds to be able to do that. I just didn't know if it needed to be included in this resolution or not.
The board can fully make that determination down the road as well.
Okay.
So every time we do one of these, for example, the Arts, Beats, and Eats giveaway, we give away $80,000, I think, in this. At the end of the expiration period, any monies that the DDA gives away in those gift cards that expires gets put back into our account less a restocking fee. And so, 50% gets used, 50% doesn't. That 50% that doesn't gets that nominal percentage fee that was agreed to in the contract when the contract was signed in 2020, and then just put right back in for utilization.
In other words, there's nothing to worry about here. There'll be
Yes,
funds in the account.
correct.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, there's a suggested resolution. Director Yazbek.
Move the resolution.
Motion by Director Yazbek. Second by Director London. Any discussion? Hearing none. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, I'm being told by Daniel that item B, 4th Street placemaking, needs to go back to the committee. Is that correct?
Yes, so there was some delay in getting some pricing from the various factors that are involved, including, so we're getting lights from English Gardens potentially, and then Michigan Electrical Service, which is doing the conduit work for the DDA already downtown, has priced out the electricity related components of hardwiring those into conduit, and the pricing came back significantly higher than the committee discussed last month, and so for good process, we should take it back.
Okay. Okay. No, I think we're just going to send it back to, without objection, we will send it back to committee. Okay. Moving on, various facade grant disbursements. Daniel?
Over the past couple months, the DDA has approved various facade grants, including the 2 applicants that are included in here. One being Sidetrack Bookshop for mainly masonry work and soffit repairs at the top of their building. And then the Blue Goat doing a whole tile, window, and signage update. Both have supplied financial records and canceled checks that indicate that payment was made. The work has been completed. Pictures have been included here for your review. Of note, 321 South Washington did expend more than what they were, approved for, so they would qualify for more. However, they've opted to just go for the normal approval.
Okay. So, in other words, this motion would just be for the disbursement of funds.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, any questions for staff?
Through the chair, just a comment. I just commented, I had a meeting with George at the Blue Goat, and it looks fantastic. I don't know if you've gone inside to look at the facade work, but the tile work continues on inside the building, and it's just amazing. It looks really good.
Okay. Why is there's two resolutions here?
So the resolutions are broken up per facade grant, and that's just in case amounts needed to be amended or you wanted to approve one and not the other at this time. So there's two recommended there.
Okay, because they both say 321 South Main?
One says 321 South Washington.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake.
It threw me off too.
Okay. Okay, what's the wishes of the board?
I move to support both requests for reimbursements as stated.
Motion by Director Goss. Second. Second by Director Lograsso. Comments? Yes.
Daniel, I noticed for Blue Goat, it says actual amount expended for, I guess, a sign was like a little over 3,700. Was the rest of the work, did that exceed 20,000 or whatever? Is that why their amount is 10?
I believe that's supposed to be 37,000.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's for everything. Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, and these are new requests, I assume. Facade grant request, 319 South Washington. Daniel?
So 319 South Washington is home to a new Pilates studio. Is a building that has been used historically for retail on the Washington corridor. The committee considered this at the June meeting and recommended approval of the facade grant. From my understanding, the property owner, Christian Morris, is here and may have an update as far as pricing that was approved. And he is here to answer any further questions that you may have.
Okay. Did you want to address the board or?
Sure, yeah. Do I just come up here?
Yeah, come on up.
So, we talked a while back, actually, and the amount I think we were approved at was 14.4. And the company we were looking to work with called me back and told me that there was an increased price on the materials, which was the amount of $2,000 more than what we were agreed upon. So that was something I brought up to Daniel as to whether or not we would be able to revise the amount. If not, we'll just go with what we originally talked about.
Okay, so Daniel, just for clarity for the board here, we discussed this 2 months ago.
At the June 2nd meeting, yes.
Yes, because we did not have a meeting in July.
Correct.
Yeah, but I mean, the first of the month, we didn't meet, we didn't have enough people for a meeting. Yeah. Yeah, infrastructure, yes. Okay. Any questions for the applicant? Yes.
The estimate that's in our agenda package here is 14,400. Is that the original price? And now the
Yes.
amended cost is $16,400?
Right, an increase of $2,000 from what we originally talked about.
Have there been, is there any unit cost paperwork with that to kind of show? where
I
the-
just got the revised estimate that was sent over to me. I can.
So it's not broken down into why?
No, they just told me that they had an increase in materials. I can call to kind of further investigate as to what material it was, but was just what I was told via phone call. Because we originally got the quote earlier this year, and then we revised it when they came out to kind of give us the exact, because when we found out about the grant is when we kind of revised the quote, so.
There's comparison.
Yeah, Mr. DeBuck.
So my understanding, right, so instead of 14.4, this would be 16.4 all in. So
Correct.
The DDA's end would go up 1,000.
Right,
50% of
correct.
that total.
Yes.
I'm willing to approve that increase pending, you know, the.
Yeah, we would see the
verifying
final.
paperwork is received.
Right.
You know,
Right. Are you dealing with one contractor?
Yeah, correct, yes.
Okay, so the 14.4 or the 16.4 is
One company.
through one company?
Doing everything,
Not
correct.
multiple
No, just one
portions,
company.
just everything under one?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Well, we would obviously see that that paperwork's gonna come back to us before we would disperse any funds anyway, so.
So then we go moving forward with approval today pending that paperwork is
Yes.
submitted as opposed to.
Well,
waiting till next week.
it's kind of automatic. Like, we request that from all facade grants, that all the final paperwork come back before any disbursement of funds. And we check to make sure that the payments made were correct with what the application was made for. So he's correcting it now, trying to correct it now. And as long as it comes back and shows that he made the 16.4 payment, there would not be an issue then.
Hopefully they hold their pricing for 45 days.
I'll move to approve the resolution as written with the exception of the one amendment making the 7,000 to 28,220.
Okay. Motion by Director Van Ness. I think everybody kind of understands, right?
Support.
Okay, support by Director Walker. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. You're all set.
So what? Okay.
Good luck.
You can go.
Yeah, you don't have to hang around. Okay. Okay, facade grant request 414 South Washington, Paper Trail Books. Daniel?
This is another request that came before committee on June 2nd. This one did not include a conceptual rendering of the potential work, but the committee felt that the limited scope of work being to a window and some trim with some new paint slapped on top was defined enough to where they could advance a recommendation forward to the board to approve. And the property owner, Frank Holbrecht, is here to answer any questions related to the property.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Mr. DeBuck?
No questions. I remember going over this one. It's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
The work is clear, low price tag, and well within the purview of the program, so I'll move for approval.
Okay, I got a motion by Director DeBuck,
I'll second.
second by Director London. Any further discussion? Seeing none, call for the vote. All those in favor?
Right?
Opposed? And that motion passes. Okay, reports. Daniel, you want to take these or?
Yeah, so per the placer foot traffic policy approved by the board, attached here is 2 reports related to sponsored events that the board provides monetary assistance to, Royal Oak Live and Royal Oak Taco Fest. Both events have obviously occurred, and these are the results of the foot traffic. The third item is a invitation to a DDA workshop that Main Street Oakland County is coordinating for powers and financing of DDAs. The fourth and fifth items are special event permits. Those are informational as far as events that either are hosted by the DDA or sponsored by the DDA. And the last item is a 2025 ongoing net business report as far as openings and closures of businesses in the downtown district.
Okay, questions? Director London.
I would love to see a comparison between foot traffic on Taco Fest this year versus last year. I don't think that's all.
I can put that together.
I'd be curious, I mean, is it going down, is it going up, is it the same? I have no idea. And you have it listed, Winter Blast / Taco Fest. But this is just for Taco Fest. This has nothing to do with Winterfest.
Correct. That's just, so in the system, I can create what's called a POI, which is a point of interest. And that's the geofencing boundary that I put around it. And conveniently, the organizer uses the same footprint for Winter Blast and Taco Fest.
Okay, that makes sense. That was confusing.
Director DeBuck.
Yeah, so I think that's an important metric. It does have year-over-year growth here. So it's showing, I'm looking at Taco Fest, no, I'm looking at Royal Oak Live. Which one's
Taco Fest is down. I see that. It's
The
down
year-over-year
4.4 down, yeah. Right? 4 point cent.
So I think that's an interesting metric, but also, do we have the baseline of what foot traffic looked like before we were doing, the festival?
And we can pull that information as well.
All right, I think that would be really interesting to see, and not just be comparing the festival to itself, but really what does foot traffic look like absent the festival, so we can get an understanding of the value that we in the community are getting out of that investment.
Although most businesses are closed on July 4th, except for the bars and restaurants.
Okay. What I would suggest, Daniel, is if you would put that information together and have it available for both committees at the beginning of next month.
Definitely.
And then that would give them an opportunity to review that and have discussion over that at the committee level. Does anybody else have any questions or comments regarding the reports section of the agenda? Okay. Seeing none. Any other business? Ms. Sparkman, anything?
Yes, thank you. So we have, the city as we continue down our path of sustainability is starting to talk with more businesses about FOG, which is fats, oils, and greases, and the impact that it has on our sewer systems and our other infrastructure. So we are going to give you guys some information today and have a presentation hopefully next month for you guys, just to let you know about some of the efforts that we're making. So more of an informal and information kind of direction.
Okay, thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Daniel, you good? Okay. What's the wishes of the board? Director Yasmic.
I wish to adjourn.
I have a motion by Director Yasmic. Second by Director LaGrasso. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes, and we are adjourned.